everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tatter-a-fact from the Girlz Inc. studio in Las Vegas. And I got a super cool guest today, another local Vegas artist. And I'm not going to quite tell him your name yet. But
would you like me to reintroduce myself? No.
Yeah. No, your real name is Unique.
I am Unique. Yes.
Unique.
That
And that's your real name, like on your birth certificate.
Yes, that
Unique.
is. People always give me funny jokes. Such a unique name. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
right.
Give me an F. No.
Yeah. What's your last name?
Scable. Unique LaShawn Scable is my name.
Unique LaShawn Scable. Okay. So I had a little bit difficult time. This is the first time you and I have met.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I just reached out to you out of the blue. Hey, you want to be on my podcast? And you were like, yeah. And so here you are. So thank you.
Here. Thank you for
Not
having
even
me.
knowing me.
I haven't even got to do anything like this. I'm new to Vegas, so I'm excited that you'd invite me here.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell our listeners how I came across you and why I started following you and checking you out in just a minute. Yeah. But I'm really curious. I don't even know this yet. I told you I was going to ask you this, and you said you had a great story. But your PMU name and your Instagram name is, and Facebook.
Yes.
And that's how I first came across you. And I couldn't find your real name.
Yeah.
I had to ask you today.
I need to put that on there
Yeah.
because everybody comes to my appointments like, is the BrowKing here? I'm like, you can call me Unique.
Yes.
But they don't know that.
BrowKing.
I'm the BrowKing.
Yeah, so for the last 2 weeks, I'm like, BrowKing will be here on Wednesday. BrowKing's coming in at, so I felt a little I should have known.
Yeah.
I
do. I need to post that a little
I don't
bit
know
more
her real
out
name.
there.
But BrowKing, king's masculine. Usually
Very
you would think of a
true.
dude having king. So how did you come up and choose the name BrowKing?
Because I wanted to put something out there that stood out. So I'm when someone heard it, I wanted them to be like, wow, that stands out. So I was thinking brow mama, brow, I don't know. And it just came up and I was like, brow. And then I thought of brow daddy. And I'm like, well, I'm not a man, so I can't be brow daddy. But then I came up with BrowKing. And then I was like, well, I know a lot of women out here and celebrities I've seen call themselves the king and they're a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I was researching and I'm like, BrowKing. And it stuck with me. And then when people would start to ask me, my response would be that a queen would have been too modest. So I had to call myself the king.
Modest. Okay.
I had to call myself the king because I do brows. I do temporary brows and permanent brows. So I just do everything eyebrows. So it's
so what do you mean
better way to stamp?
What do you mean by temporary?
Like tinting, lamination, waxing.
Do you do the henna? Oh, okay. So you do all that. Okay.
Brows, yeah.
All right.
I don't thread. That's the only thing.
You don't thread. Okay. So you do the temporary brows, and of course you tattoo brows.
Yes. My favorite. My forte is doing permanent makeup. Yes.
Well, and you're quite good.
Thank you.
I like your brow work.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time and tears and blood and sweat and money into this career, so I'm hoping it pays off for me.
But that's a real artist, right? Real artist. I mean, I think every artist has their story. They struggle.
Their struggle to get to where they are. Yeah, it's never easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Especially I think if you're a true artist, because I think when you're a true artist, a true creator, along with that comes baggage, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Our minds, go constantly. Yeah. I'm somebody that deals with some depression and sadness, and I think that not all creative people, but a lot of creative people
kind of use that as an outlet almost.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a way to kind of express yourself.
Yeah, and I don't let it cripple me or, or anything like that. But so you've been in Vegas for how long?
I moved here June of 2020, so in the smack
of COVID.
Middle of COVID. Yes, I did. I got my tax refund from my children, and I was like, listen, I need a new start. I'm going somewhere. So I took that. I think I had $6,000 when I moved here. I got me a place and got enrolled into school, which is why I'm able to do the lamination and the tint, because I did it at home and I was doing it illegally and didn't know it. So then I move out here and I'm putting my services out, and they're like, are you licensed to be doing that? And I'm like, well, I got a body art license. Like, I should be covered to wax and tint and, you know, do laminations. They're like, no. So as soon as I came out here, I started an aesthetics program at Euphoria.
Okay.
And I finished in February.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank
so
you.
where did you come from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha,
Midwest girl.
Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not much brow, not too many people out there doing brows like on the level that I was.
So what's it like in Omaha? I mean, I think if you've never been there, you picture it to be kind of...
It's really diverse, but it's not. You have your spots that are cool and that are not. I'm from North Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
So that's where it goes down at. We have some of the higher crime rates in the country.
Okay.
So it gets real in Omaha, Nebraska, especially because we don't have a lot to do. We're kind of in the Midwest. We don't have any parks. We don't have professional sports in our town. We only have the Huskers that do college. So it's real... just small town like. I mean, you get city vibes there because our surrounding cities are like not as popular as ours, but it's still a small town. It's real. You gotta kind of make it off popularity, and you gotta kind of like depend on that to kind of keep going. And so I actually did good when I was there. I started my apprenticeship after I completed that. I started doing brows, and by my 3rd month in, I was booked out about 2-3 months. So I was kind of keeping that going, and it just came to like a point to me that I felt like I couldn't keep going and growing at the rate that I wanted to grow at. So I was like, Vegas.
So did you feel like being in Nebraska, there was like a ceiling?
I felt
on
there
your
was
head?
kind of a cap to what I wanted. You know, like I feel like what was next for me was opening a shop, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that kind of would have been where I could take it all there. But I wanted to challenge myself more. I just got so much great feedback from when I had started just in the first 3 months of me being out. And I was like, if I could do this here based off of what I know and what I don't know, like I could go somewhere else. I feel like I can completely take it over.
So why Vegas?
So I actually came here on a birthday trip with some friends. Literally had no idea that I was like, had no idea to move to Las Vegas. So I came first with some friends, and I'd actually linked up with a girl that was out here, and she was from Omaha, and I didn't know her personally, but she was from Omaha. So I was like, okay, and we all had went to a dinner. It was like 10 of us that came out here from Omaha, so it was a good group of us, and she had just joined in with us because she knew who they were. And so her and I got to talking, and we were both in the industry, and I was like, wow. And so she was like, yeah, girl, like I'm out here. I moved from Omaha. I've been out here for like 5 years or something like that. And she's like, it works for me. I do great out here. And she's like, you should consider like networking. Like, let's hook up. We're both from Omaha. She's like, I don't know too many people out here. And Vegas is not too trustworthy to be, to build those relationships that you can depend on. So she was like, wow. You know, we do the same thing, and she was a microblader, and I'm more of an ombre artist. Okay. So I felt like that would have been a great kind of mesh there, just because she could kind of give her expertise, I could give mine, and we could just take it off as a team. But it didn't work out that way. No, because ladies can tend to be ladies.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just I decided for what I wanted and what my end goal coming out here was. I just felt like it was best for me to just come out here and do what I wanted to do for myself.
I gotcha. So did the relationship, it soured a little? We don't need to go into detail. It soured a little bit.
So I'd start coming for, after that I came every month. So I came in November. She was like, hey, come to my shop. Like you can plan a trip out here and we can really discuss, on a more business tip. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I came out a month later, and I just been coming back every month. So we decided we would do a training class together. Mm-hmm. And so I had set that up or whatever. I did everything, came out here. I was all over the town trying to pass flyers out, and I just felt like I was putting in a lot more groundwork and a lot more behind-the-scenes work on my own. Yep. And she had a spot, you know what I'm saying, a beautiful place with suites and stuff, and so she had a lot more on her shoulders, I feel like, than she could handle with networking with me. And then just got to a point where I felt like, I don't know, sometimes people that are in the same industry as you, once they feel like you're equal to them, it tends to like force them to backslide from you. When they feel like they're over you and they can teach you and like they know they're better than you, they want to take you under. But it's like knowing that you're just as good, you know, but you might not have the building, or you might not have 6-7 months clients booked out, but you're just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a little intimidating, I feel like. So
Yeah.
that's the vibes that I got. So before I moved out here, like I had planned to work in her shop and everything, but a month or so before I had moved out here, I'd seen some stuff on social media that I just wanted to address, because I'm like, that's the type of person I am.
Right.
You know me.
Yeah.
You know, but you've seen a little couple things. So I'm really direct. Like if I feel some type of way, I'm going to kind of voice that respectfully. So that's what I did. And the response I got didn't really make me feel like it was for me. I felt like the feelings that I had, it kind of just put it out there that I was feeling that way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't. I just felt like she kind of was here, and I was here to her, and I didn't want to be in a position like that. If that makes sense. So I was like, you know, I don't think it'll be good for me and my brand and my business to come working under you. So I'm just gonna go out and kind of figure something out for myself, and I did.
And you did. You're here, and you have 2 little girls.
Yes, I do.
And so you cashed in like all your money.
Yeah, everything.
Came to Vegas.
I have no family here.
No family here. You were just telling me that out there, that you don't really have any friends here, no family support here. But you're doing it. And you know, when I started back in the day, I didn't collab with anybody. I didn't have any of that out here either. I just kind of did it on my own. I was kind of a loner for many years.
That's kind of how I feel. I would like to get out a little bit, but I feel like I can protect myself more when it's just me, you know.
Yeah. Now I like to collab. I collab with like Mary Richardson, you know, a lot of different people.
You got all the collabs.
Yeah. And now it's fun, you know, but there was many years where I don't think I had the confidence or, you know, whatever it was to collab. I kind of stayed on my own and honed my craft, honed my teaching skills, honed my...
Just got real into it.
Got real into it and got real settled and built my confidence and
I feel like that's the way to go. I feel like that's the way to go. Building something like this.
I think nowadays a lot of people want to get there fast. They want to get from here to there really fast, rather than, you know, taking their time and building a foundation and whatnot, you know.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. So, you came from Omaha and you're in Vegas, and so the way I came across you, we'll
put
that
out there.
Let's put that out there. So I have a board. A lot of people know I have a board, the Girlz Inc.
on Facebook.
Board on Facebook.
Yes.
And I got a notice one day that there were some posts being reported. I didn't even tell you this, Olivia. Some posts being reported. And so I get on there and
I was included. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so that has something to do with me.
Yeah. So, you know, no names or no details, but I think the topic was color theory.
Yes.
And so someone was reporting you, and then you may have reported someone. So so I found the post and I'm reading it. And for quite some time, it wasn't snatchy, and it was good, but you are definitely a very direct person. Like you don't put hearts and smiley faces. No. You do not mince your words. No. And I think Unique, sometimes people get mislabeled and misjudged if that's the way you text, right? Yeah. Because when you're texting, emailing, and it's words, there's no emotion.
Sometimes get it confused.
Yeah, they can't hear the tone by it. And it may not have been a tone. It may have been a pleasant tone, but you're just direct with your texting.
Right.
My wife can be very direct with her texting.
I can relate to that too.
Yes. So I'm like, honey, put hearts and smiley faces.
Can you be sweet with me in these?
Yes. But, and so, you know, I'm reading everything. And then at one point, the one you were kind of going back and forth with, she made fun of your name, BrowKing.
Yes.
And then that's when you turned right around and threw a zinger right back at her.
A dagger.
Yes. And then it went a little bit deeper, and that's when I just deleted the whole thing.
Which sometimes is the best way to go, because, you know, some women will continue. I'm one to kind of get what I have to say off my chest and leave it there. But if it comes into an argument, I will go on as long as
You will
so
go
it just kind
on.
of depends
Yeah.
on the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so, and that's just your personality. And I was telling you out there, maybe 10 years ago, I was like that,
Yeah.
and over the last 10 years, I've learned to,
Kind of calm a little bit.
well, I've
Yeah.
learned that there is power in
Yes, that's what
calmness and
My
mastering
grandmother-
that. And it takes discipline and whatnot. But like I said,
My grandmother is real good at that. She's like, just don't give anybody your energy. Just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But they need to know.
Yeah. And I love this saying, don't let a bad tenant lease space in our mind.
Oh,
right?
that's a good one. I've
Right.
never heard
So
that
if you had a house and you rented it out, if they were not taking care of the house or
Right.
the backyard and doing a little bit of damage or cause, you'd probably be victim.
Right.
But we easily allow someone to get under our skin, stay in our mind, and affect us negatively that way. But I think like that comes with time.
Kind of growth. Yeah, I'm
It
working on
comes
me
with
still.
growth, yeah. But
Never perfect.
But anyway, I
Yeah.
really didn't find anything like too offensive or nothing like that. But I'm not a hypersensitive person.
Yeah, that's me too. I kind of can take it a little bit. Whereas
Yeah.
we're in a world now where it's not so
Well, that's it. We're in a
easy
world,
to
right?
kind of,
Right, sensitive.
say what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of
hypersensitive,
watch what
don't
you
you
say.
think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch how you respond to people. Make sure that you're not saying something that could be taken offensively, even
Right.
if you're not meaning it to come off that way.
Right. Right.
So I try to watch my words.
Yeah, and sometimes social media is not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with this, just the way it is right now, it's a little scary. Even sometimes, for me doing these podcasts or going live on Instagram, it's always in the back of your mind the
Right.
way, the hypersensitivity
Right.
who
Who
out
could
there
take
now.
something wrong, or who could
Yeah,
slam my name
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
said something they might not agree with.
Exactly.
So I try to pick my words carefully
right.
on my posts, and like when I'm talking directly to my clients, I try to really pick my words correctly.
But I have a good friend who is a lot like you. If all you did was follow her on social media and look at her posts, and she answers questions on the PMU, but you would think she's like a little bit of a mean girl. You would. But in person, she's so not. She just does not. She's direct, doesn't mince her words. And when I ask her, why? She goes, because I hate texting, so I want my answer to be as short as possible. And it comes across as really
such a
short, like I'm
mean-
short and I'm mean, I'm this and I'm that. She goes, and the thing is, I just don't really like texting, Teryn.
That is funny.
Right. So I can look at things.
And it's not her perception. Her perception to give it to you like that isn't to be mean.
No,
she's like,
not
she's
to
like,
be
"Just-
mean.
I'm just
Right. But certain people are going to take it as mean, as rude, as offensive. And then certain people just are not.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody that really doesn't. I try to have an expansive mind and just be open and just not be hypersensitive.
True.
But anyway, so that's how I came across BrowKing, because someone made fun of your name. And I'm like, and called you out on
You
my
see me
board.
call them back out though.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's funny.
But good thing that all happened. That's how I came across you.
I'm big on a last word, and I need to grow up from that.
So you
I
gotta have
do.
the last word.
I'm a big last worder. Like I gotta. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't keep going. I'll keep going with you.
Yeah, no, I got someone in my life very close to me who's like that. And I was just telling them the other day, you always have to have the last, no matter what that last word is, you have always got to have the last word.
When I show my grandma that, she's probably gonna laugh because she's like, that's what she's told me my whole life. Like, can you just shut up? You
So
don't
grandma's
have to
been working on
Yeah,
you,
she
right?
from birth. She has.
But Unique, we always have work to do on ourselves, right? And
That's
I
very
think
true.
the biggest thing for us is to be aware of
Right.
where we're weak, where we fault, where maybe we're not so kind, where maybe we're not so patient.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that insight.
They don't.
And then they can't, and
And it
people like
holds
that
them
can't
back.
grow.
Yeah,
Holds
it
them
holds-
back.
yep, you're absolutely
But
right.
you have that insight. You know that you can be a little edgy. You can be a little this. You can be that. I know I can be a little moody. I can be a little this. I can be a little that. I'm well aware.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly working on it.
Yeah,
So,
I actually had shared something on Facebook the other day, and it was regarding depression and mental illness and things that we all deal with. And it was a post that stated something like, I deal with this, and I lash out, and I might be mean to people, but as long as, and I shared it, and I was like, when you're aware of these things and you're working on them, that makes it okay for people to be around you and be comfortable with you.
Right.
But if you're aware of that and you're just blaming it on, oh, I'm depressed, or I'm
Yeah,
upset,
yeah.
or I didn't have it, that forces people to gravitate away
Yeah,
from you,
yeah.
or to kind of distance themselves
Right.
from you. So
Right.
I feel like with that, it comes work on yourself too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Knowing that, and knowing that you have issues. We all have issues. We all deal with things. Mental illness is really being touched on right now, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's really important for us to kind of have those conversations.
Right.
To work on that stuff. So
I do too, and I've just started opening up about, my struggles with my anxiety,
Yep.
depression. I dealt with addiction 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I'm not a perfect person,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think I like my wife wakes up happy.
Right.
She's a happy person. I think that's in her DNA, and she's wired that way.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I'm wired
Right.
to be this really happy person. I'm not saying I'm miserable,
Right.
and I don't have lots of moments of happiness and true joy, but I have to be aware.
Right.
Depression and mental illness is
it's powerful.
it's powerful,
It
and it's
is
big in
powerful.
my family. It's in my family.
Same. My
Mood-
mother,
yes,
she
mood
suffers
issues.
tremendously from
Yes,
depression.
exactly. And so they say if you have one parent
Yep.
that has depression, bipolar,
Yep.
some sort of mental illness,
Addiction, has history of addiction.
yes,
things
there's
like
a
that.
50% chance the child will have it. If you have both parents, it's like there's almost no getting
No,
away from
yeah,
it. We're gonna
there's-
have
yeah.
something that we have to deal with and be aware of. But thank God now it's getting out in the open. It's not a shameful thing,
Yes.
right? We can
yes.
talk about
It
it.
needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed, especially in men. I feel like men are really shut down from being able to express themselves, and especially in my community, I'm starting to see a lot of guys dealing with that type of stuff, going to get therapy and doing things
Like
that,
in the Black community.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but just being able to be okay with that now
Right.
that it's being talked about, now that they see their friends going to do it, or maybe been in jail getting therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coming out a better person. That really, mental illness, you can't force it away, but you can work on effectively living with it in a positive manner, or as positive as you can.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think some people like dismiss their bad behavior or use mental illness or depression as an excuse. And that's what will push people away. If you're dismissive of it, you think people should just accept it.
Yep.
I
I don't think it's fair to the people you love.
No, it's
Because
not.
they love the part of you that isn't depressed. They love the
right,
part
right,
of you that
right.
they see when you're happy, or when
Right.
you're your best self, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. And, people like you and I, we're not always going to be our best self.
Yep.
Right.
That's
because of what we deal
true.
with.
Very true. I have to apologize to my 6 and 3-year-old often. Because I'm like, listen, mommy's still growing and learning. Mommy's not perfect either.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably a good lesson for your children. They're not growing up with, someone
Somebody
who's
making excuses for themselves.
right.
I came up with that too.
Right.
My mother was a lot like that, even to this day. She was a lot like that. So it's more really important for me to be that way towards, or not be that way towards my children, because she would say her depression forced her into not even showing up to our events at school. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I got to pick, even if I feel like that, I got to pick myself up, from that. Even if she couldn't, I can't judge her or tell her what she should have done different. I just know what I want to do, going forward with mine.
Yeah. Well, and I think this industry too, it can be tough on people that deal with anxiety or depression, because our industry we're very visible. We're all over social media. It's
Gotta
all
post,
about,
gotta
gotta
stay
post,
relevant.
gotta stay relevant. It's about how you look,
Yes.
what you're posting. And that can be hard on somebody that deals with, those kind of issues. I think we tend to compare ourselves. With other people, right? So many people use social media as a place for comparison and not inspiration
Or reality.
or reality. But Yeah, but anyway, you do really, really great eyebrows.
Thank you.
I
You
started,
do.
watching your Instagram posts and following you a little bit, and I just thought you were really talented. And and you're super cute. You're a cute girl, and you're cute.
I do.
Yeah, I know you're cute, right?
A little. It's my dad's fault.
Well, at
not
least
mine.
you're all confident there, right? If you're gonna have confidence, a good place to have it.
Yes.
But you post some really cute selfies on your Instagram, looking all, model-esque and looking all sexy.
Gotta
and-
give the people a taste.
Yeah, and I wish I could take selfies like that.
I
Because
always see I might delete this one. I might.
no, every selfie I've ever seen, like your selfies are like so good.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
my artist here, Michonne, she takes like the best selfies. She's so photogenic. She looks so good, like you.
Thank
and I just
you.
look like hell in
No,
my
you
selfie.
don't.
No, I think I do. Like I'm so insecure about like my selfies.
I get that way, even though it might not look like that. Like I will take like 50 pictures and be like,
Oh, well, that's good. Oh,
isn't
well, I'm glad to hear that.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
that's wonderful news for me.
no, that's exact. I think that's what we all do.
But out of 50 pictures, you'll
Yeah.
have one or two you like.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Okay, that's really good news. That's good news.
funny.
Okay,
No, yeah.
good. Then I don't feel so
I
bad.
actually deleted in school. They said if you really want to focus on your business, you really want to build yourself as an entrepreneur, get rid of personal social media and try to stick to social media just based around your business. So that's
Right.
kind of why I deleted my personal one, and I'll put little stuff like if I'm eating somewhere or something, I'll post it to my story. But I try to kind of keep it based just around brows and just that social media takes a lot of my attention.
Yeah,
that
no, it
should be
does.
geared towards probably my brow business. So.
Yeah, no, it does.
So it helps me to kind of stay grounded that way. Cause
Yeah. So let's talk
I
about
was
your brows
crazy.
a little bit.
okay,
So you do powder brows.
yes, I do.
Machine,
Exclusively, yes.
Machine.
With the machine, yes, ma'am.
single needle.
Single needle.
Yeah, okay, so your single needle, is it all ombre or some of it just like a powder brow? Or
So
you
I
like,
just do powder brow options.
Okay.
Ombre options, it kind of meshed in, kind of based on what you call it. But I do micro shading, the ombre
Okay.
shading. So just kind of based on what my client likes. If
What they
they're-
want.
Yeah.
what's your favorite needle?
I like a 0.18.
Oh, so
on
you
my
go
mass tour.
itty bitty. You like that itty
Yeah,
bitty.
I love it. I love the pixel look though.
Yeah.
I kind of get, even though it doesn't heal that way all the time. I love to kind of get that look.
Okay, so I'm a big needle girl. So
You said you use the 8 shader.
I use like a 7, 8, or 9 shader.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and I've seen people say it works faster for them that way.
Girl, I'm done in 25 minutes
Shut up.
on my second margarita while you're still doing your single needle powder brow. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, swear
no,
to
you know
God.
those passes with that single needle will take you an hour and a half to 2.
So I was going to ask you,
just
how
doing
long?
your
You're an
machine.
hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yep, my whole appointment gets to about 2.5 hours. Is what
Okay.
each client is.
Yeah, and I'm older than you. I don't have that much time left
No.
on earth. I can't spare. No, I swear, I was like, I can't spare that much time no more.
So
right?
3 clients is like a 9-10 hour day.
Yeah.
Like that's and it gets to be, so the most I'll do is about 3
right
in a day, because after that my body is
right. So I could do
exhausted.
probably 6 in a day, and still be at the bar before you, right?
Yeah, be picking your kids up.
So what do you charge? Do you charge more because you're single needle and it takes longer?
I guess I should, but no.
No.
I've never really thought about that. I kind of base my price around what artists kind of around with my expertise.
Like the
kind
average
of, yeah,
kinda
I kind of
price
just shop
around here?
around and kind of set my prices a tad bit lower because I'm still building. I've only
Right.
been here a year, so the ones that I've know been here a lot longer than me that charge $600-$700. Like
Yeah.
I try to build myself that way, because that's how
Right.
I built myself in Omaha. I was doing brows for $150.
Okay.
Just a client just starting up, starting
Yeah.
out. And like I said, by my 3rd month, I was booked out for like 3 months just
Yeah.
off that price. So I feel like kind of lowballing yourself, as much as it sucks, you kind of got to go through those things in the beginning, or starting somewhere else. Or,
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of,
For sure. A lot of people start out, lower pricing, even
Mm-hmm.
Groupons. And the minute someone mentions a Groupon on
it makes me
social
sick. I would
media,
never go on Groupon.
they jump. Yeah.
Permanent makeup, I feel like, is the only thing you do not need to get on Groupon.
You don't
for.
need to get on Groupon. Yeah.
No,
And some
I don't.
people do. They do it that one time to kind
Mm-hmm.
of, hopefully create like a trickle effect. Like they get a bunch, from Groupon, and then those Groupon people will go
some people have recommended it to me, and I'm like, oh, I'll look into it, but they take like 50% of
your
money. So I was like,
no, they take a lot, like a huge percentage. So you're doing all that work, and they're
Mm-hmm.
taking a huge percentage. Yep. But however you build your portfolio is,
it's yours. Yeah. Some it works for
whatever
some people.
It takes, right?
For some people it works. I just didn't think it made sense for me. And plus I have kids. I'm like, I can't be giving away half.
Yeah, it didn't make sense for me
like,
either.
But for those it works, I have more power to you.
Yeah, right. Groupon, might not even have been around when I started. I know. I just celebrated 21 years last month. September 2nd, I think.
I'm 3 years.
You're 3 years.
18 years on me.
Girl.
My brother is 18 years.
18 years old. Okay, stop it now.
That's crazy. No, I know. I should stop there.
I know.
His whole life you've been doing.
I know. It kind of sucks. Awesome. You get to this place where you're considered a veteran. Like people call me a veteran. I'm like, come on, is there
I really want to be called a veteran?
Yeah, is there like a sexier word, a little more cool, relevant word? I don't know, but the word veteran's okay. I don't diss it.
I hope to be a veteran one day. Yeah, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, if you get to have 20, like I feel super blessed to have 21 years and to still be relevant. And
it seems like you love what you do.
I
feel like I don't get that vibe that you're like tired and you're sick. I mean, of course we all get to a point where we don't want to be in that dang chair no more.
Yeah.
But to still be so involved in the industry and still be starting new things and working and building the networks you have, like, that's great.
Yeah, I absolutely love PMU, and I love this industry. I love other artists. I'm just intrigued and just as fascinated and just as in love as the day I started.
Yeah.
And you said something out there to me that really struck me because people have heard me say this many, many times, is that you said permanent makeup saved you. And I have never heard another human being say that. And I have said that a lot on podcasts, lectures, when I go on stage. Because I say it, because that's my truth and that's my reality.
That's how I feel.
I don't know where I'd be today if I had not come across permanent makeup.
Yeah.
So how did permanent makeup save? Are we going to get a little deep and a little emotional?
Yeah, we are, but I'm down for it.
Well, I think PMU is a lot of things to different people. It can be just a way to earn money. It can be something fun, and it can be a lot of things. And then it can be something so deep, so profound that saved somebody.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I was pregnant at the time that I thought about getting into this. I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, and I was sitting in the back seat. I remember my child's grandmother, her dad's mom. I was sitting in the car and I was just scrolling, and I came across this brow style of doing microblading, and I was like, what the heck is this? So I researched it, and I was pregnant. I remember telling my daughter's father, I said, once I drop this baby, I'm getting into this industry. I want to do this. He was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I had my baby. I was working at a bank at the time. So I had been there for about a year and a half. I had taken my maternity leave and stuff off, came back. Everything was completely different when I came back. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I got the feeling that they were trying to kick me out. Like I just felt like they were trying to revamp everything, and kept writing me up or kept looking at my drawer, counting my drawer, just picking at me to kind of get me kicked out the door. So I remember one day I just got sick of it. I woke up, I'm like, God, I need something different than this job. Like, I just want to do something different. Excuse me. I said, I just want to do something different than this. Walk into work that day, the man comes to my station. He says, guys, talk to you. So he tells me that there's the check that has been cashed on my drawer that was fraudulent. And I, have no idea. I'm like, well, I checked the number. I checked the background. It was a decent check. I gave them what I thought was theirs. Nope, it's a fake check. So you got to do the research to find out where this money is and bring it back, or you're fired.
Is that typical, that's banking protocol?
I guess so.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, with it being my first check, this is a little extreme, for
right.
but it was a $2,000 check or $25 or something. And I guess the the threshold for too much of a loss is over $2,000.
Okay.
So there's kind of a rule there. So he fired me right there on the spot. It was like 9:30 in the morning. I went outside. I said, God, I'm not going to another training class. I'm not sitting in another 5-7 week like orientation. I'm not doing that. I said, what I'm doing now, I have 2 babies. Like I already have the one. I have 2 now. What I'm doing now is what I want to do for me. So I got on the phone, looked up microblading in my area, whoever. I'm like, microblading. Looked it up. It's this girl right in the area. I went to high school in Benson, so it's a little small area of Omaha. So she's right in the area of Benson. So I was like, call her. And I'm like, she's like, hello. And I'm like, I just lost my job and I got 2 kids and I really want to do it. And I just start going off on the mouth, and I'm like trying to hold back from crying because I'm like, you know, in this position now. Right. I don't have a job. I have 2 kids. My girl's dad and I, we were together, but that wasn't dependable. So I was like, you know, spilled my life story out to her for like 20 or 30 minutes. We talked, and she's like, and I'm like, do you have any, my whole thing was to say, do you have any other payment plan options or anything that you could do to get me started? I said, I just got fired from my job today, and I just really want to get into something that's for me. And I've been researching this. Like, I know I could be really good at this.
Like your own business. Yes. You want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I'm trying to get just a completely different route. I've served tables. I've cocktail waitress. I've worked in telemarketing. I've done everything in Omaha that I can to be as successful as possible. Right. And I'm not getting where I want. So I was like, you know, is there any other payment plan options or any other ways that I could pay? And she's like, no, you know, this is my only option. And so I was like, okay. And she was like, well, the well changed my life.
Right.
Y'all.
Yeah. Right.
She's like, well, I'm actually, she said, it's just me in my studio. And she said, I'm looking for somebody. She said, I'm traveling now, didn't have any kids, not married or nothing. She's like, I'm a traveling artist, and I go back and forth to Atlanta and Texas. She's like, I'm here by myself, so I want to get someone in here to kind of help me. Maybe they could work under me, like an apprentice or like an assistant or something like that.
End up taking some of her appointments? Yeah. Okay.
And she's like, you know, coming in and helping me kind of take some of the workload off, keeping the business, you know, stocked up, going to go do what you got to do. So I was like, yeah, sure. Keep me in mind for that. Like, I'd love that. And she's like, well, I don't have the position open right now, but within the coming weeks, I should have something available. So I'm like, I need something today. I need you to be giving me a job today. But of course, I was like, you know, I don't care. I was like, call me when you're ready. Like, I'll be ready for you. Please put me down for that. Right. I will be the one. So went back home. It was a week later. It was a Tuesday. She called me, and by that time, I'm already dropping my resume at other banks and, you know, back to what I know, because I'm like, shit, I got to get this rolling.
Gotta have a paycheck.
Yeah. So I had sat there. Oh, my God. I remember this day on my couch, and she called me. I'm like, oh, my God. And I answered, and she's like, hey. She's like, I've been thinking about you since the day we talked. She's like, I can't get you out of my mind every day. She's like, every day I can't get you out of my mind. She's like, I want to meet you. And I was like, okay. She was like, do you have a resume?
And you probably couldn't get her out of your mind.
No, yeah. I'm like, well, and I had researched like other microbladers, but they were not in my area. They were way too costly. Right. They were just, so she was like the one. I'm like, she's literally 2 minutes down the street. Like, this would be perfect. So she calls back, and she's like, yeah, that's what she said. She's like, do you have a resume? I said, yeah, of course. She's like, can you send me your resume over, and do you want to meet? I'm like, I will meet you now. Like, I will come now. So she's like, yeah, just come by tomorrow at such and such time, 11 o'clock. I said, okay, fine. So that whole night, I couldn't even sleep. I'm like, what's going to happen to me tomorrow, God? Like, what's going to happen? So I wake up, get myself all dolled up, put some red lipstick on. I'll never forget. And I walked in there, and she was like, I love your resume. She's like, you have, and this is why I feel like this is what I was meant to do, because everything that I've done up until the point of doing permanent makeup prepared me for that. Right. Customer service, working with people, working with disgruntled people, working with situations. Just, I feel like it all prepared me for this.
Did you always have like a creative side?
Yeah.
You
always,
did? So you had that?
Yeah. My grandmother, she's owned a daycare for about 40 years. So that's kind of where I picked that up. I just would be creative with her and the kids, and then I would go to school. You talk about
grandma a lot.
Yeah, it's my baby.
You love grandma.
I love her. I love her so much. But yeah, I worked with her growing up, and I run all the activities and all the window take home stuff and for holidays and special seasons and stuff. So I've always had a kind of a creative streak to me. I use my right side of my brain, is that what they say, rather than the left side. So that's how I always was. So yeah, I went in there with her and I was like, she was like, well, I love your res. She's like, there's a lot of people in our industry that are B words. And she's like, they don't know how to treat people. They don't know how to come down to that level and kind of meet people at their level. They feel like they're so good at what they do. And they're so, you know, it's almost an honor for people to be in their presence when really we're providing a service to our clients that sometimes changes their lives. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you got to have a touch with people to be able to relate to that. And she's like, I just love that. So we had a conversation. We sat there for about 45 minutes. And after that, I had left with the apprenticeship position for $13 an hour.
That's awesome.
And I worked for her for 6. So she had set it up for 24 months.
Yep.
And I was surprised. I'm like, you're going to pay me?
So did you have to sign a contract, do all that? No contract? Just a handshake?
Like, yeah. She was like, just come, you know, you can come shadow me for my clients. You come into the training classes that I hold and you can help me with the training classes. But, you know, I'm in the training classes like, you know, doing what I got to do too. Yeah. So, but it was all free. It just all came to me with that apprenticeship. So that's why I feel like it changed my life, you know, because I didn't have the money at the time. And I feel like I would have done it eventually because it's something I really wanted to do. But she kind of like dropped it in my lap, like, I'll train you, just show up. And I didn't have to pay for anything. I went to her shop. She loaned me her supplies, her pigment, all that. And I was just there working. So she had it set up for 24 months. She let me go after 6. She was like, I have no reason to hold you back from making your own money. She's like, you're bomb at what you do. I'm not going to keep you here. So
that's great. So you started your own thing and now you're in Vegas?
That was in August. By the time... I think from August to December, I made $20,000.
Oh, wow.
And to me, from like welfare and food stamps and that type of background, like I was like, oh, that was like $4,000 a month, you know, starting out. I was like, wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it was. I was surprised.
Yeah. And I wanted you to share your story because there's a lot of, you know, there could be a lot of young women in that same position and maybe not seeing hope or, you know, and because the struggle's real, not seeing a way out. And you did. Lots of people have, you know, I did, you did. And there's lots of people in PMU that have a story like that, a story of struggle. And sometimes people only see where you're at now. Right. You know, they don't see behind the scenes and all the years leading up to where you are now that, you know, are difficult and hard and of course full of wonderful and happy, joyful.
Tears and happiness
But, you know, I started this podcast, you know, for, you know, talk about PMU, entrepreneurship, definitely, you know, and highlighting women that have become business owners, entrepreneurs. And if that woman came from a place of struggle, a place where maybe you shouldn't have made it. Yeah. Because of this, and the odds were against you.
Boy, I tell you.
Right. You know, because I think some people, they get into victim mode.
Woe was me.
And once
I'm not good with that. I'm not good.
No, and me neither. I was never.
I try, but I can't coddle that attitude.
Yeah,
it makes me sick.
Yeah, but some people do label them, and I think once they've labeled themselves victim, it's becomes really detrimental to them. It's hard to get out of that. And it can be dangerous for them. And I do see that happen with some people. Yeah. And that's not what you did.
No, their dad, he and I, we had 6 years of relationship together. And it was a toxic one, might I tell you. So it kind of gave me the ability to kind of have my own and just leave that all behind. That's kind of the reason why I left Omaha. So I was kind of worried about that and just him coming up and like, it's different when you're coming to my job. You're trying to come to where I service my clients at, you know, threatening to come drop my kids off or threatening to come up there acting crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm good at what I do. I'm relying on this, and I'm just gonna take that risk and snatch my babies, and we got up out of Omaha.
Yeah, and you're Vegas. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you picked Vegas.
Thank you. I know. I love Vegas. It's so different here.
Yeah, it's different, but it's good. It's good.
I
You gotta like. My wish for you is that you make a couple friends here.
I do. I need some.
That's my wish for you. That's what I
really do.
Yeah, because I think you'd be a great friend.
I am.
And the kind of friends that become family. Because I was able to do that because I left my family 26 years ago as a young lesbian.
Right.
Yes. And lost and depressed and dark and all kinds of crazy things. And I was able to meet some really good people, and my friends have become my family.
Yeah,
and I know, and you will. You just got to put yourself out there a little bit.
I do. It's a little difficult for me with the babies.
Yeah.
I try to get out and do a little business, like the conventions and the stuff that they do around here.
You know what I want to start doing
brunches.
here next year? I wanted to do it this year, but with COVID, it was still a little. But I want to start doing do a night where I have invite local artists to come down.
Yes.
And we just do some champagne
and
hors d'oeuvres
mix
and get to know each other and maybe talk a little shop, little procedure, and talk PMU thing. And I think, building a great PMU community, that would be great. In the amazing city. Vegas would be great.
That would be great. It seems like everybody kind of keeps to themselves or is distanced with what they do. And so I was so shocked when you asked me. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'll come over here and talk with you.
I reach out to a lot of local artists. Yeah, if I see beautiful work. I had a local artist named Masha Shaw.
Oh, and I don't even know who that is.
You would love her. Maybe she could be your new friend in Vegas. Was she not cute? With her. She was cute and bubbly and friendly. I loved her.
Teryn's friend matchmaking.
I'm a friend matchmaker. Yes, and she's doing really good work. And she's about where you are, 4 years. And she had an interesting little story.
Yeah, and so have to give me her info. I'll follow her on IG once we leave here. Yeah, because I don't. And I've messaged a couple girls, but we just kind of all do our own thing.
Some people, Unique. They see competition as a negative thing, as a threatening, fearful, negative thing, where it's not that at all. So I always encourage people to look at competition as a blessing. It's something that's...
When I think about it, I'm like, look at all the taco shops here. It's literally taco shops, next to taco shops. I'm like, if they can do that and be running their business, why can't we oversaturate and still make a lot of money and have fun with it? I'm down with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't feel like it's over. I want more art. I feel like it's important for younger artists to come in and learn and kind of build off of what we know, you know, and kind of turn it into theirs and continue to keep the industry going, because we're going to die one day, they got to keep it going once we.
Exactly.
So that's why it kind of hurt my feelings with the girl that I was working with out here, because I was really about building her brand, because I'm like, I'm going to work with you. Like, I will build your brand. Forget mine. I'm coming out here to network, and we can do. And it hurt my feelings, but you deal with that. You deal with that sometimes.
It's happened to me. It could happen again to me. You have to. I'm a little naive, and I'm a little maybe over friendly and over trusting going into collabs and relationships.
That's me.
I got my wife now, Mama Bear.
Right. She's like, oh no.
Yeah. She's so not trusting like I am. But I just love people, and I love collabing. So I'm quick to say yes. On projects and collabing. But once you get hurt a couple of times, and you do become a little more guarded, and I don't want to be guarded. I'm not naturally a guarded
what type of life
person.
Is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just be closed off, and there's beautiful people walking this world. There's beautiful relationships and things that could benefit you, things that come around to teach you lessons, things that come around to hurt you, so you can learn a lesson. You know, it's just life. That's kind of why we evolve and why we keep going.
That's right. So I know you got to go. You got to go pick up your daughter.
Yes,
so we'll end this. But maybe next time, because I know you're a big fangirl of Neezy Baby.
I love Neezy.
I know, I do too.
Neezy, I love you.
Yeah, I know. We'll tag her when we launch it. She'll love it.
I do.
We loved her. Olivia and I loved her. She was fantastic and great on the podcast, and so cute and bubbly, and What a story she
Yeah.
has as well.
I can't wait to watch
Look
her
what she's
interview.
built.
Yeah, she is. She's
Amazing.
bomb-ass.
Bomb. She's the bomb. But maybe she said she definitely would come on again. You'll come on again, right?
I'm definitely
okay.
gonna come on
So
again.
maybe we can have
Make
like
me
you
a
and Easy
regular.
come
No,
down. Yeah. No, for
But I will
sure.
co-host with you.
Okay.
We can. I will.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, I'll
I'll
make
do-
it nice and fun for you.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I have no doubt.
No, at all. You know, I'll bring in all the funsies.
But I didn't even get through all my questions with you.
I know.
So I'm gonna have you on again.
yeah, let's do it.
And we'll talk color theory, and we'll
Yeah.
talk 6-month apprenticeship and training and lots of different stuff.
Can. This is just a teaser.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing some intimate
Yeah.
things about yourself. Sometimes it's not always easy to share
I'm
stuff
one that
that
loves
personal.
to share my testimony. So I
Yeah.
tell my story to help other people. Some people are like, why do you're always talking about where you came from and where you didn't come from and what you do. And it's like, why are you trying to, and people will make you feel like you're doing it to be better than other people or
Yeah.
to like degrade other people. But there's so many people behind the scenes that come to me like, you moved to Vegas, like with your kids,
Right,
like with
right.
$6,000 and your kids and going to school. And like, how did you do that?
Right.
So that's why I continue to share. I try not to let the naysayers bother me, but there's really people that need that to just see
Yeah.
people where they came from to come to levels that they're wanting to get to, and I'm
Yeah.
not where I want to be, you know.
It's
but I'm just a
inspiring.
lot farther than where I was.
Right. It's
So that's-
inspiring.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
is inspiring.
Motivational, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. That's how I feel. So.
Yeah. And
All right.
I love you coming over here and doing all this and setting this up for us. Like,
Yes.
what would we do in this industry without Girlz Inc? I know I order from you guys all the time, so I really appreciate you.
That's so
just being
cute.
a
That's
stamp in
awesome.
this industry. You're the bomb.
Well, I'll tell you what. I never thought I'd be sitting in this chair 21 years later,
Yeah, I'm sure.
collabing and hanging out
Yeah.
with young, trendy artists. Right? Never thought
Yes.
that. So super blessed to be able to do that and
This is awesome.
get to know the young talent, you know, in the industry today, especially here in my own city. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're coming and going.
Yeah.
They are coming. It's growing. Our industry is
It's growing. And I
every
love
day.
it.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Which is good for us.
It's great for us.
I know.
I love it. I love it. So,
All right.
I'm
Well, thanks for coming
excited.
down.
I appreciate you.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me.
Yes.
We'll do this again.
We will do it again. We will do it again.
Doing it again.
Thank you
doing
for
it and doing it. And
yeah,
doing it again.
doing it again. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Tatter-a-fact. We will see you next time. Happy tattooing, everybody.